closing, because this is one that a lot of people struggle with. I myself, I have to work on my close a lot, and meaning like, we don't want to think of this as a sales type business. Which, by the way, if you're like, I don't want to be a salesperson, I don't want people to feel like I'm pushing anything on them, then I have a perfect video for you. We're not doing this to make a buck. I mean, yes, that's going to be a great byproduct, but like, you can't get to that point if you're not actually helping people, if you're not actually doing something. There's nothing slimy and weird about what we're doing. There's no reason that you shouldn't make an income by helping other people. And this is like a pigeonhole. I don't know. This is an area that group fitness instructors specifically, we find ourselves in. And it's really, that's one reason why a lot of fitness instructors have a hard time wrapping their brain around making money as a coach, because I've been teaching a 24-hour fitness for since, let's see, so it's been 17 years, right? I've been teaching there. I got hired at $20 an hour, and that's still what I make. I've never asked for a raise. I don't want to, because if I want to teach at any club, I want to be able to do that. I don't want my supervisor to consider, well, that person that wants the class makes 20 and this person who wants the class makes 40, which there are instructors out there who make more than me. But if I want the class, I want to be able to get the class regardless of the price. So that's always been my mindset. I'm like, it's fine. But it also can put people into a mindset of that's all I'm worth. And so they have a hard time making that exchange and feeling like they're worth more than that. And you are. I mean, you're worth every bit of knowledge, every single thing that you've been through with your kids, every single thing that you've been through in your relationships, every bit of adversity that you've been through. You have the ability to share those things with people. And why is it so weird that we're saying, hey, I'm going to help you, but for an exchange of that, then, there is a fee. You have the answer to help somebody with their self-esteem, with their self-worth. You have the answer. So, but you're like, but I haven't really, it's okay. Everybody starts on faith. It's like that first step of faith. I built my team with a step of faith, just saying, I'm broke and I'm excited to do this. Do you want to do this with me? Just a step of faith, saying, I'm going to do everything in my power. And that's why I'm still here today. We don't have to work. I'm still doing this today because I believe that this opportunity fell into my lap to take care of people. And so that's why I'm still doing this, because I want to continue to take care of people. And I feel like that's, God put this in my path. And because of that, I need to pay it forward. Here are some examples of the wrong close. Number one is leaving without a firm commitment. So you might want to take some notes because I think this might be helpful for you. Leaving without a firm commitment. Okay. So if it's just like kind of like well, I'll let you know, get some type of a firm commitment. Okay, great. No problem. Can I touch base with you next week? Okay. How about Monday? Is Monday a good time for me to touch base with you? Or how about, toward the end of the month, the all access challenge pack, that's actually going to be going back up to $199. So can I touch base with you like the last week in August to see if you're still interested? So you just want to like throw those little nuggets out there, get a firm commitment. The second wrong close is not asking for the sale, just assuming that they're not ready to hear about it, right? Just not asking. And you have a couple ways of doing this. You can say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like you're jumping out of your skin excited, and 1 being like, this isn't for me. Where are you at? And that's going to give you a really good idea of where they're at in the process. If they say a 5, anywhere in the middle section, then they need some more information. If they're like at a 9 or a 10, great. Say, oh my gosh, it sounds like you're ready to get started. How about we get you started? And you just go right into it. The third wrong close is asking for the sale, but then immediately discounting yourself, like talking yourself out of it, saying, oh my gosh, it sounds like you're really excited to do this, but I know that you're a really busy person. So why don't I send you some samples first, and then you can see which flavor you want, and then we can go from there. Do you know what I mean? Like you're kind of like discounting it or talking it backwards. Or if they say, oh my gosh, this sounds like a perfect fit for me. And then you immediately say, oh yeah. And you don't even have to do anything. You can just be on this for the discount, right? So you're like backpedaling, almost making it seem less scary. Those are the top 3. Oh, also jumping to the close too soon without first building a relationship. If you don't really know the person yet and they're like, yeah, I think I do want to get into your challenge group. Then you're like, great, let me send you a link. that's like jumping to the close, right? You're not really exploring what their goals are, helping them to identify exactly what they need to do. And then the fourth thing is like they're ready to go, but you're like, oh shoot, well, I don't know what to do now. Okay, so that's like that's bad. We need to know. Okay, so when somebody is ready to rock, if they're ready to sign up as a coach, then here's what I do. I tell them, okay, I'm going to send you a link. This link is coming from Beachbody, and it's going to have exactly what you need in there. So because of that, right? So when somebody signs up as a coach, or they're ready to go as a coach or a customer, I am going to first determine with them what program is right for them, and then which flavor of Shakeology that they want. Those are the steps you need. And then you need email address. Okay. And while I'm on the phone with them, I plug their email in. If it's a customer, I plug their email into Coach Mobile, and I see if they already have a coach. Because if I need to do a coach switch, I'm going to do that with them on the phone first before I send them the link. Okay. So this is really important stuff that you know. So just know that you have to know, like, be ready that something like that is going to happen, and be ready to take that next step. Here's the number one thing that you're going to do every single time you close a sale. The number one thing you're going to do every time you close a sale is you are going to tell them what they're going to do. And there's nothing wrong with telling people what you want them to do, because that's what they're expecting. They're saying, like, take care of me. I want to join your challenge group because I want to lose 15 pounds or whatever. This is really important, that you know exactly what to say to them. You need to tell them what they're going to do. So, whenever I create a pre-order for somebody in Coach Mobile, then I let them know. Or if they're already a customer of mine, then I have to send them a specific link, okay? But I let them know exactly what I'm going to do, exactly what they're going to do. Say, I'm going to send that over to you right now. Hopefully they can stay on the phone with you and say, okay, did you find the email? Great. Go ahead and open it up. Click on complete my enrollment. Great. Now you go ahead and fill out that information there. Now, if you're on the phone with them, even better, because they can kind of walk through the process. A lot of times people don't want to do that part on the phone because they got to go get their credit card, and it's kind of awkward to hold the phone, etc. But if you can have them on the phone, even better. Because then when they get to the part where they're like, oh man, well, it says that this is an auto ship. If you're on the phone with them, then you can tell them, yes, that's how we set it up. That's how you get the initial discount. So you can answer their questions as you walk them through the process. Okay. So that's always the number one thing, but you got to tell them what they're going to do. Okay. So we talked about the wrong way to close. Let's talk about the right way to close. Firm phrasing. So I'm going to use really firm phrasing and just say, this is what is going to happen. Be specific in the details. So like I tell everybody, I'm like, you're going to get a link to your email. And then I pause, I let them digest that for a second, and I say, this email is not coming from me. This email is coming from Beachbody. It's coming from a Beachbody email address. And then I pause again, let them digest the information. And then I tell them, if you don't see it right away, check your spam. But when you do complete it, I need you to text me right away. Let me know that you've completed it so I can make sure everything's okay on my end, right? And that's just your little accountability piece, because, number one, you're kind of like creating a layer of accountability, but also you're going to know when to go in there. Because sometimes people, you'll send them a pre-order, but they'll get confused, and then maybe they'll get distracted, and then they'll go to sit back at their computer, and they're like, oh shoot, what was that? Oh, was it beachbody.com? Okay, let me just go to beachbody.com, right? And then they try to figure it out on their own. And I've lost customers and coaches that way, because I didn't tell them and I didn't follow up with them to make sure that they completed it, and then they got assigned to someone else. The next thing is to lead. You're going to tell them what you're going to do. So you're leading them. They're expecting you to be in charge. So if you're kind of like a little bit wishy-washy, you want to come from a place of authority, but lead them. As soon as you email me, or as soon as you text me that you've completed it, then I'm going to add you to our Facebook group, which is, a ton of people that are willing to support you. And I'm also going to get you the training right away. So it's right at your fingertips. Of course, this isn't for somebody who just wants to be on the discount. Do you know what I mean? You just let them know that you need to make sure on your end that everything went okay. And that's why they need to tell you. But you're going to tell them exactly what you're going to do for them. And then let them know, I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. If you have a question, I'm going to answer it for you. If you have a problem with something, I'm right there. And always remember, everything we do has a 30-day money-back guarantee. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is carved in stone. You can cancel anything at any time. But I really think that you're going to love this. It's kind of like that takeaway. You just like take the pressure off a little bit. You are going to validate the decision that they made. Okay, number one, validate. You express excitement. You express encouragement. You tell them that you are like in their corner, that you're just rooting for them every step of the way. You're so pumped that they're going to do this with you. Remember, it's with you, that they're never alone. They never have to figure out anything on their own, that this is a team effort. That's number one. Number two, you state exactly what's about to happen. So if you are with them, on the phone, then you can say, hey, well, do you have a second right now? Are you in front of your computer? And they say, yes. Say, okay, great. I'm going to send you a link, and I want you to go, while I'm creating that link for you, go grab your card, and I'm going to walk you through the process of getting started and getting set up. Okay. I don't like the phrase signed up. I don't like the phrase purchase. I don't like the phrase buy. People have a lot of negative connotations with those phrases. So I always use getting started, even sign up. People tend to, they don't like that one so much. Getting started, getting this going. It's a little more of a soft sell, and people are more receptive to it. The third step is to outline. Tell them what their next steps are, and then what they will be doing. Okay, so if you are not on the phone, like actually walking them through the sign up process, then you're going to tell them exactly what. You need to be specific. Okay, be specific. You guys, nobody gets like the excitement that we give, and most people don't get encouragement and praise at their job site like we do. So use things like, I'm so excited about your future. You're so ready for this opportunity. It's important to keep yourself accountable. So why not pull out your card and let's get you started? Like, I love that phrase. It's really important to keep you accountable. So why don't, I'll set up the pre-order for you. You can go ahead and pull out your card and we can get you started right away. Everything that you do is going to be scary the first time. And the more you practice it, the easier it gets. Social media closing script formula. Number one is content first. Okay, so you want to make sure that your content is clear, it's relevant, and that you're connected to them. That meaning like you've checked on their page, you know what they're about, you know what they do, their kids, all that stuff, right? So it's relevant to them. You're not just asking somebody if they want to lose weight and they're like a fit model. You know, I have people approach me all the time with these cold scripts about starting their business. I'm like, if you knew anything about what I do, you would know I'm already in a successful MLM. And no, I'm not going to jump ship, because I think it's pretty apparent that I am like in this one. Do your research. No mass messages to people, right? Never do a mass message. You always want to, you can use scripts, but you do want to do your research and put some personalization in there. Be short with your messages too. Always respect their time. In a lot of our scripts, even we have like, where people will say, share your story with Beachbody. And I don't even necessarily do that. Like if I do, it's like one sentence, maybe two, because when somebody's like, oh my gosh, I really think you should try this product because look at all of the things it did for me. And then they write you a novel about their life. I don't think that that's going to be relevant for most people. You need to first figure out what their need is, and then you can custom tailor your personal story for them. Respect their time. Whenever possible, book a call. Try not to write a book to them. So whenever possible, you want to get them on the phone. We use the tip of giving them two options. Would you rather watch a video, or would you rather jump on the phone with me for 20 minutes? Bullet points are your friend. Bullet points are your friend. When you see bullets and lots of spaces, so like even, there's lots of research to show that if an email is sent and there's like one sentence and then there's a line break between each sentence, that a lot more people will get to the end of the email than if it's one paragraph. So you want to space out your stuff and use bullet points whenever you possibly can. And the last thing is to validate, state, and outline. Here are some additional ideas to know. Objections. There are 5 major objections that you're going to get every single time. It's always one of these 5. And so here's how you can kind of overcome them. Number 1 is price. Okay, I don't have the money. You need to spend more time talking about the worth, the value of the opportunity, and give a value exchange. Okay, like for instance, I talk about my history with irritable bowel syndrome. And although like Beachbody can never say that Shakeology cures anything, I know that is legit. But literally like months after I started on Shakeology, I was not having debilitating attacks. Like I had them my entire life. It would take me out from anywhere from 1 to 7 days, or actually like sometimes like 10 days out of a month where I literally could do nothing. When I started on Shakeology, now it wasn't immediate, but over time I started noticing that these attacks were getting fewer and far between. And I am here to say, like, I've been on Shakeology for 8 years now, and I have had maybe like 5 attacks in that whole time of what I used to experience. It's nothing. So to me, I would pay double, triple. So you're talking about the value of what it is to you. Then still, people may still talk about the price. Say, I totally understand how you feel about Daily Sunshine. And you know what? I really struggle to get my kids to eat healthy too, but I know how important it is for them. Wouldn't it be worth $4 a day to make sure that your kids are getting all the nutrition that they need? That they're getting something super healthy and jam-packed with fruits and vegetables and proteins and healthy fat? Like, just the peace of mind. Objection number 2, fear of change. And this is usually people are like, oh, I'm okay right now. Or I think what I'm doing right now is pretty good. I think I got this. You know what I mean? Okay, it's fear of change. That's all it is. It's fear of change. They're worried that they're gonna mess something up. So here is where the more info about where you're taking them, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna say, you know what? I totally understand how you're feeling. And then you're gonna provide them with more info about the group. You're gonna provide them with more information about the business opportunity. And then always, of course, circle back to what their initial why was, with their initial statement of why they want to do this business or why they want to get into a challenge group. Somebody who tells me that they want to lose 15 pounds, they've never been able to get it off, they're so frustrated, and then they tell me, no, I think I'm okay right now. Okay, no, there's something wrong here. It's just a fear of change. They're afraid that they're going to not make it. So I talk to them again. I'm like, okay, let's think about this. What you've been doing, it hasn't been working. And what I'm going to provide for you is something that you've never tried before. So then I talk to them about that. Like, you go back to their why and you give them more information about what you're going to give them. Number 3, trust issues. Okay. And so if they have trust issues, usually what they're going to say is, I don't really understand how this whole thing works, or I don't really get it. So they're having trouble trusting the process, or maybe even trusting you. So here's where you go to them. They've probably had a bad experience. Maybe they've been a yo-yo dieter their whole life. Maybe they've done another MLM before. They've just had a bad experience. So this is where they need more information about the journey that you're going to take them on. You're going to help them with personal development. You're going to help them build their confidence. Number 4, they pass the buck, meaning, okay, yeah, this sounds really good, but I think I need to go over it with my husband. We hear that all the time. I need to talk to hubby because he handles all the finances. I've even had somebody like literally give me all of her credit card information. She's like, sign me up on Thursday. That's when I get paid. And then Thursday afternoon, she's like, oh my gosh, my husband he's not okay with this. So I can't go through with it. And I'm like, they're passing the buck. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's not what it is. You can do this if you're feeling bold. Okay. You can just let them know, look, today's the day. Let me get your information into the system. Take 3 days. Talk to him, and if he's still not on board, I will just delete it all out. So that's where you can even collect all the information. I don't know if you know that, but you could always do the sign up for them. Just make sure you get their birth date, because that's the one that most people forget. But you just let them know, look, you know what? Let's just get you started. I know you're so excited about this. Take 3 days, and remember, everything has a money back guarantee. Number 5, this is the 5th one, then we'll close, guys. Timing. Okay. And that's when they say, not this time, but maybe another time, right? So timing. So maybe I'll be interested at a later time, or you can get back to me later. But right now, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this, right? So timing. This is great because this means it's a lower level yes. It means that it's a yes, but it's a not quite yet, and that's okay. So this is when you can say, okay, great, let me go ahead and get your information. And then that's like, for instance, you're like, let me put you into the system, meaning you're going to send them the pre-order. And then I'm going to reconnect with you when, right? Because you need to be clear with them. So like, for instance, if you have somebody like, I'm really going to use the whole all access challenge pack thing. heavily, because it's that 160 price goes away after August 30th. So if that's the right package for them, then I'm going to say, okay, that price is going away. It's going to go up. I want to get you the best deal. Even if you don't get started right away, I still want to get you the best deal. So why don't I follow up with you about August 25th? And we'll just get a quick phone call and see if it's better timing for you. It's a lower level, yes. So it's a win. The last point is always acknowledge what their objections are, because they're real. They're real to them. They might not realize that it's just fear that's holding them back. You need to validate them, because they are real and legitimate feelings for that person. And then acknowledge their objections and let them know, like, nobody wants to feel like you can't hear what they have to say. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants to feel heard and validated. So you need to face those things dead on. You can always tell them, that was my experience in this way. I want you to feel really comfortable. Just let them know, like, I'm not in the business of pushing anybody into anything they don't want to do. You need to feel really comfortable with this. I want you to know that you have what it takes. Always remember that there are little tiny wins that you can get. And one of them is getting their contact information. You have their email address. One of them is getting them into the system. You have a pre-order set up for them. Another one is having a date in the future that you can talk to them. Another one, of course, is just having something in general that you can look forward to and say, hey, I always say, try to keep them engaged. So if it's like, it's not right now, no big deal. Hey, why don't I send you a video that talks more about this, right? So wherever they're at in the process, if you know that they need more information, or they need to talk about more about the journey, or whatever that they need, try to find a solution that will work for them, and then send that to them and say, I just want you to take a look at this. I really think that you're going to enjoy it.